everyone. It's good to be in here. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today. Thank you for another opportunity to come into the market this morning. I thank you so much for all of your blessings and for all of your provisions. I thank you for my family, for all of your goodness, your grace, and your mercy upon us. I ask for wisdom and discernment as I go and execute in the market, and I pray that you would help anyone else that joins in to be disciplined and they would have wisdom and discernment as well. And I ask these things in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, amen. Good morning, Larry. How are you doing? Go see what's happening in the news. Oh yeah, this is going to be a good morning. We've got core retail sales in 30 minutes. So that should be pretty good. Bring some good volatility to the earlier part of our session. Whereas the past few days, they were kind of a slow start. So hopefully we'll have a better, more active start today. And then tonight, we've got CPI on the Chinese yuan, which I kind of like that because I like trading the Tokyo session. Oh man, we got to do a Tokyo session. Just remembering we got to do that. Hey Vin, good to have you. Larry, you got over 9 hours. That's beautiful. You're gonna be nice and rested. I didn't quite get that much, but I got a little bit more than I usually do. I think it was around 7 hours, which is good for me. But tonight would be a great night to do our Tokyo session. I just didn't look ahead on things on the calendar, and I kind of forgot that I'd said that we would try and squeeze in a Tokyo session. I'm just seeing the calendar, and this would be a great evening, an hour night. So my 8 p.m. would be a great time for an evening session for me and for Larry, maybe. I don't know if Larry, you would be around, or Vin. How would that work if I could make it happen? Would that work for you guys? All right, so we got a nice clean break out of last week's consolidation in here. Come on now, draw for me. Why is it not drawing? Nice clean break out of there from last week, Monday. Strong bullish candle. So, and yesterday I said, I'm just going to stay on the bull side. And then I shorted, I think, almost the whole time. So we'll see what happens. But I'm leaning towards the bull side as we've got a nice strong break from Monday. So, we'll see what happens on the smaller time frames. It just so depends on when we go and execute on the short time frame. So today we're starting out at $10,427.26. Made a good chunk of change yesterday. Made a little bit more after our session too. So maybe I'll pull up what I did for the day yesterday. So Larry, Vin, you shorted. That could be a good idea. And then Larry's saying, what time would that be? So that would be 8 p.m. Eastern. And I don't know for sure. I've got to go still check on that, but I'm just potentially putting that out there. Oh, I'm not sharing my chart. I'm sorry, guys. Just sharing the news. Let me go back and show you what I was just drawing on the daily. Gotta take this stuff off. So here is our last week, that consolidation. And then we had Monday come in, nice bull candle breaking out of that consolidation to the upside. And now today, well, we can really go either side. I'm just leaning towards a bias of the bull side, but we'll definitely find ways to trade both sides today. Vin was already saying he's gone short. I'm sure there's a good entry for him in there. Yep, we can see this consolidation from the London session. You can see that in here. 1897, somewhere around there is the break. And then the top side is something like this. 1.192. Somewhere in there. So there's a good London session breakout, and Vin is already short on that one in there. If I'm gathering that correctly, am I, Vin? All right. Oh yeah, I was just gonna pull up my trades so we can have a quick look at yesterday. So here's the 5-minute chart. We are shorting all the tops of these all through here and catching little blips down until we finally found the good solid leg down, which I think was after. I think we finished in here. And then I think there was one more big leg that I shorted after. Yeah, I think that was after we were finished. So there's one exhaustion candle that went and burst up, shorted it, caught a good chunk of money back down, then traded some more consolidation, then started going long on this leg that was heading down into that trend line, and that trend line held support, and then made money all through those longs. Then last night I had a little trading session through here. I just went long just through there, made a little bit. And that was that. And then Vin's session was through here. And here we are this morning, breaking to the downside. All right. We got that leg. And now we've got this leg. Oh. So those are very similar measurements. You could call those measured moves. Identical, and we can see we were getting a little price cycle upward on the 1-minute chart, coming back up to test the break of the down leg. And right here on the 1-minute chart, we've got a wick on the bottom coming back up. So this is, well, I guess we'll just have to see what happens. If it can hold below this support, sorry, this resistance line, then I guess we'll be heading down. All right, I just want to zoom back out for a sec on the 15-minute. And I want to see where is it likely to head down to if it's going to continue going down. So I'm going to draw this line across here. If this were to be a trend line, this would be a decent spot for it to stop. So there's another shelf right in here that I'm seeing right there. And then if we go all the way back here, it's also a shelf over here. So we got it here and here. So this is a solid line. Right in here would be a decent place for it to stop, potentially on that trend line. So for now, it looks like we've got a little bit of clear sailing to the downside for a little before we see any reason to slow down. One 1.187. 1.187. Yep, yeah, that's the line that I drew there. So anywhere in here, how much room do we have to travel down? To the trend line, we've got about 10 pips. To this line, we've got about 20 pips, maybe a little bit more, 20, 23. So I'm probably going to play both sides because we have some immediate down pressure and we've got the yesterday's breakout heading upward. So I think for me, I'm probably just going to be happy to go on both sides of this. So I'll be just keeping these things in mind and then probably fade both ends of those 1 minute price cycles. One thing I'm noticing is that on this down leg with that's a good size down leg, but what we have on this next down leg is it's moving a little bit faster. So we're seeing a bit of acceleration to the downside with that leg. So will we get a third leg out of here? From here, will we get a third leg down? Something like that, maybe. The good thing is with the way that I'm trading, I can just be really agile and take both sides. And we've got 15 minutes to the news. So I just need it to run. It's just kind of right in the middle of this consolidation. Right in the middle of this. So I kind of just need it to go one side or the other. Did that broker end up getting back to you, Vin? Is that getting sorted out? Oh, that's good. Putting the wrong PW. Can't think of what PW means. Okay, so at the moment, I'm just a little hesitant to go short, as I'm seeing we've kind of got this mini head and shoulders on this 1 minute chart that's starting to come in. I need to just get rid of all these lines. I can't see what's going on. Oh, the password. Yeah, I guess you got to get that password right. Okay, well, I'm not too confident. It's back right in the middle again, so good. I still want it to extend a little bit further one way or the other. There we go. I'm going to just start taking the longs on this side. The consolidation. Take one here and then maybe a couple down on that pivot. And I don't know. I guess we'll just see what happens. Really, more at the news as to which way this is going to go. 10 minutes. Larry, are you biased on the direction? We can make money on both sides. We can both be right, or we can all be right and we can all be wrong, depending on how we structure and manage our risk. Because this is mostly about risk management and not being right on the direction of the market. Okay. Got this just really fairly tight consolidation. Seems like it's going to hold this zone until the news. $20 pips all the way down to that 1.187. I think I'm just still a little bit more biased to the long side. But we definitely have a clear break to the downside right now. There's no doubt about that. It is really trying to push down. I think I'm just going to be the guy that's preparing to grab the other sides of the market when it comes down into these levels. I'm going to just be that guy. That's my plan for the moment, just because I like the bullish break of Monday. So it's just for now anyway, until we get a big strong down leg out of here and there's follow through with the news, then maybe I'll be trading more to the downside. But just for the moment, I'm a little bit leaning towards the long side. Okay, just missed that target. The market is just pinching even tighter before the news. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking if this breaks down, I got to be prepared to put in a lot more size 20 pips away from here. So that means for me, if I'm going to be long in here, I've got to just be super light. So whatever side you're trading, if you're going to be long, just be prepared for that 20 pip leg to come in. But if you're on the short side, then you can hopefully capitalize on a leg down from here. I hope Vin gets his leg. Just put one more long in here, and then I'm just probably going to hold with those two positions until the news. Just trade super light for now. All right, I'm just pulling up the forex factory on my phone just so I can see it just as another screen. Oh, my phone is lagging. Guys, am I lagging on your end today? What's going on here? There we go. My phone was just being a little bit funny, but got the news ready on my phone. Looks okay on your end? It's good. Like everything seems fine on my side, but then occasionally it will just start lagging, and then sometimes I can just make sure there's nothing else running, and that helps to speed things up. So if at any point it does get really laggy, I could restart the live. I'll just shut everything down and reboot and make sure there's nothing else running. That's an option if we need to. Don't like to stop the live, but also it's no good if it's just lagging and choppy and you can't understand anything. So we'll see how it goes. We got 1 minute to the news. I just took one profit, so I'm gonna get out of this one for break even and then just see what happens. Okay, news in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Zeros. Retail sales forecast was 0.4 and we're hitting 0. So I guess just slightly weak on the dollar. It's not much, though, is it? Just barely weak. It's pretty much a nothing type event. I'm going to just go with the longs for now on this burst to the upside. Was the target hit? I'm going to short the top sides of these as well. There's a bunch of resistance points that we've got here before it should just go running away. So short up here, short on this spot. I'm going to put some lines in. Oh, we got a short right there. Oh man, I totally missed that. That was not good. Slow. Okay, so there's a good level. Maybe here. 1.15, 1.1915. Yeah, I don't know where to go. There should be some spots in here. Okay, there's profits on the shorts. I'm going to go long. I'm going to go long again. Okay. It's decent volatility. Okay, I'm going to get ready to go for another long, pretty much right where it's at, right here, there. Okay, and then I'm just going to hold, see if it comes down to this line. It's the next spot. I'll put a couple trades in there. And this is me just kind of blanketing that first area. Like, I don't have great spots on those first couple trades, but this is a good spot with the current information that we've got on these body closes. So this is a good spot. Uh-oh, am I lagging? My platform is frozen. Well, took profits on all those while my computer was lagging, so that's good. Was it just my trading platform or was that my internet lagging? I just mean MT5. And I'm running the streaming through OBS. Okay, the internet was slow. Let me just see if I can make sure nothing else is running for now. Just get rid of all this other internet stuff. Okay, we'll just try this for now. And if it gets really bad again, I think it may be a good idea to restart the live, but let's just try this and see how it goes for a bit. All right, if it pops up a little bit more, I can go for a short. I'll get a short in here, right there. It's a good space for it to come back down before this red line, which would be a new support area. Just profit on the short. I'm going to go long. Okay, right on this. I'm going to go long right here. And long again. And long again. This is a deep pullback, so I want to get into this one pretty good. Yep, I'm going to get a little riskier right in this spot. Some good profits on the longs. Going to take one off. Oh, I'm just missing it. On it when it pushes up, I'll take the loss. If it pushes back down, I'll go long again. Go long again right here. And long again right here. It's a fairly deep pullback, so I can't go as heavy this time. This is the second time now, so I gotta just stay lighter this time. It's just a rule for me. The first time we're hitting new areas, I'll go heavier. And then if it's the second time coming into a new zone, it's my rule to be a little bit lighter the next time. So we should see some kind of bounce in here, back up. Just get ready for it to push down. I'm going to buy this again. And then if it can get a bounce, take off a loss on the top side. Two days of your challenge completed now. Good stuff, Larry. That's excellent. Just waiting for it to push down again, and I'll buy it one more time. Okay, it's trying to make the turn on the 1 minute chart. Right in here. Just making my screen just a little bit bigger because I'm trying to take some cuts out of these lives and make little videos out of them. And I found that the pictures of me were a little pixelated, so I'm just gonna enlarge it just a little bit to see if I can make those videos a little bit cleaner. Hopefully it doesn't get in the way of our price action too much. If it does, I'll just shrink it back down. This is only yeah, you gotta work to get it back for sure. And the way you do that is through consistency and discipline. Make sure that you lose the same way every time. Make sure that you get your wins the same way every time. I would say that losing is the most important thing in trading. You want to consistently lose, and you want to be super good at that. I think that losing properly is one of the keys to success here in trading. Consistent losses. Okay, if it pushes down a little bit more, I would buy one more time in this kind of the new little support zone we got that came in. So right in here, buy one more time. Don't quite have enough capital to go much more than that. Like you can see, I've got a layer up here, I've got a second layer here, and I've got a third layer of 2 trades. So I've got one, and then a third layer of stack of 2. And so when it comes down further, I gotta be able to get up to like 4 trades down in here in order to start paying for the losses again that I'm gonna have up there. So always planning ahead for the next legs against me and preparing for that. All right, go for a long right in here. It's a perfect spot. And then we'll see if it breaks down. If it decides it's going to break, I'm going to wait a few minutes and just let it run. It's a good chance it'll come down to this line or down to these bottoms. So we will see. One profit on that trade. If it pops down, I'll try and do it again. Let's try to make a turn back up. Trying to make a break above these highs. And I'm going to stretch this one out a little bit further, just because if it breaks this, it should go a little bit further than right there. So I'm just going to try and create a little bit more space, just take a little bit more profit on that trade and just stretch that layer out just a little bit. And then it comes in right before this point in here. I'm going to just put a little marker in here. So those trades come in before that spot, which is also good. So this candle wicked above, but didn't quite, well, its body is holding on tops of these. So we can maybe call this a break to the upside. Let's see what this next leg does, next bar. All right, taking some profit. And we have an official break out of that consolidation, so we should see another bar or two to the upside. So I'm just going to hold on these trades for now and see if we can get up there. If not, I'll just save my capital for down here and we'll wobble out of those losses. Just maneuver out of them. So this bar is testing the break of the consolidation that we had here. So it broke above, it closed above, it's coming back down to test the break. And now will it come back into the consolidation or will it bounce up? That is the question. trying to lean back in to come down. Okay, it's coming back down into that consolidation. So if it gets back down here, I'll add another stack of trades. I'll get into 2. And then I'm going to have to start getting rid of those losses up top. Okay, we got a wick to the bottom now, so kind of a false break to the downside. The market's come back up above this line. So it's just kind of anybody's play right now. Just staying right in the middle. Okay, it's coming back down. Okay, another really small candle. But it seems like we've got these higher lows starting to come in. And it seems like we just had a higher low form again. I feel like I should have got another trade to try and now capitalize on this little consolidation. I was waiting for it to come down to that line and it didn't do that, so didn't get another trade in. So now we'll see if it comes back down. It might squeeze one more trade in. Otherwise, if it goes up, hopefully we can grab some profit. And what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to move this trade down just a touch so we can take profit on these highs without it having to break. I made a little bit more profit on the trade earlier, and so it's okay to just make a little bit less profit on this trade to increase the probability of it getting hit. Then it could potentially get hit and keep going, or it could get hit and then pulls back and we could go for another trade. So let's see what happens right in here. Just missed it. All right, if it's an aggressive push down, I'm going to buy it. You can see it's kind of flickering and moving quicker now, so we should see a bigger leg come into the market. I don't know which way. It's just gotten really stuck in this middle. Just can't pick a direction. Okay, I'm going to try and squeeze one more trade in here. And then one more down on this line. I think maybe I'll get into 2 down on that line. And then if I can get a bounce and some profit, then I can get rid of that trade that's up there. That's the plan. Okay, got some profit on that bottom trade. And if it comes right back up to this top, I'm just going to shimmy this one down just a little bit more. I want it to close. There we go. There's the profit on that one too. I'm going to just get out of that top trade now and just get it off the books now. As it comes back down, I'm going to buy again right there. And that was just an adjustment to reposition myself. Now I can come back down here. I can go long. It comes back down to the line. I can get into 2 more. And I've got rid of that loss that's up there. It's just not even, that's not a problem anymore. Okay. Which way are we going here? It's trying to break to the upside. Leaning into this old high. Almost grabbed our profit. Just barely missed it. Now, if it comes back down to this level, place another long. Okay, we just took profit. And it is breaking up now. It's cleared that high, so we've got a good chance of hitting that last profit target. Nice, we just hit that last profit target. We're up to 440. Now I can't remember where we started at because I closed those other windows. I have my Google Docs or my Google Sheet that I keep all our starting balances at. I'm going to just open it and see if I can go see where we started. So we started at 427 and we're at 440. On this pullback, I'm going to get into another long. So we made about $13. Go for a long right there. That was a little bit early. And also, I'm going to get rid of all these objects again and just clean things up. Clean it all up. And then just reassess and put the important levels in. So we've got one there, 993. I guess we can call it an even 1.19. That played a really important role in holding that market up. So that's an important spot. All right, gonna buy that dip right in there. And then I'll go for maybe 2 right in there on that 1.19. Should get a bounce again off of that because it did before. All right, let's see if the market can come back down to that 1.19. It is pretty stuck again. It's not doing too much. That one target was hit. We'll see if we can grab the next one. There's a second one. Perfect. $4.42. Now what do we do? $4.42. Now what do we do? Let's look at the 5 and the 15 and see how it's developing. Kind of an interesting 5-minute chart. The 15, we're just right in the middle of London's consolidation, that London session. So I think you're probably good to trade both sides, but because we've had that turn back up into the consolidation, we got a rejection from the downside. I'm leaning more towards we're gonna go and test these highs from yesterday and London's highs. So I think we're gonna go back up there because of the rejection we've currently got now and here. So I'm going to probably lean into the buys still on the pullbacks. At least for now, that's what I'm thinking. All right, if this has a really strong leg, I'm not afraid to short it if it gets, I just want to see it have a strong leg. So let's just measure and see. Oh, on the pullback, I'm going to go long. Matches up with that high. But that 1-minute leg is now 10 pips. So that's a good spot for it to pull back. But if it jumped up 15 or 20 pips, I would definitely short that. So we'll see how it gets up there. If it can get up there in a hurry, I'll short it for sure. Otherwise, I'll keep buying these dips. Try and go with the immediate pressure. Now I've got another little support area here. Can go in one trade there. And then the next spot would be somewhere in here. It kept going down. Somewhere in there. Get into 2 or 3 trades here and or here. So this is kind of the more significant level, that 1.19. I'm getting quite heavy on that line if it dropped down. Probably enough trades to get rid of that one up there. So I probably have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6 trades in there. If it dropped down quick, I'd probably get into 6 trades, take the profits and get rid of that loss up there, and then sit and wait. But I don't think that's going to happen, at least not quickly. So we shall see. I'm just thinking of the plays ahead of time so that we're prepared for when the market goes places we just didn't really think. What could happen, and then prepare for what could happen. Hey Larry, is Alveo working well for you? One more push down, and I'll get into another long. Only on the pushes down. Didn't get one in. And now we have this little gap in here on the 1-minute chart, right in here. It's a good chance that will pop back down before heading up. Oh, it's not doing it there. Just missing our profit target. I'm lifting up the candle with my cursor. Push it. There we go. It worked. I lifted the candle up with my cursor. I'm just kidding. That does not do anything. But another good little trade. All right, looks like it wants to, now we're breaking that. I don't know if you call that the news high. I guess we could call that the news high. Right there, breaking it. I'm gonna zoom out to the 5-minute chart here and just see where our next stopping point is. Yeah, so I will short on that 1.192 line because that has now run from the bottom. It would be running up 32 pips. So that's a great spot to start shorting. But it's not going anywhere in a hurry at the moment. So that tells me I want to just stay with the immediate pressure, which is upward. It's currently heading up. So if I can just stay the little pullbacks, I'll keep going along with that immediate pressure. But I'm also ready to short it if it pops up into this zone. If it leans into it and starts pressing into this zone, I will not be shorting because it's trying to press and start making new highs if that happens. Oh yeah, you were using it, but yesterday it kept locking up and had to reboot. I'm not getting anywhere with my Alveo. I can't run it. It's doing that thing where it won't select the account, and so it's kind of like opens Alveo and it's not in an account. So I sent it in to the guys to development and see if they can fix it. It's too bad though. I just still haven't been able to trade it in weeks. All right, just steadily pushing up until we get to this line. If we get right up there, I'll short it, put a little short on. I think I can start here because of these tops right here. So I'll start really slowly. As it presses up, I'm going to short it. Right there, I'll put one and I'll get another one right on that line if it can touch it. All right, let's try to make a turn on the 1 minute chart here. We've potentially got a little 3-bar reversal. Somewhere in here is a good spot for it to make a little turn down. So target's in a good spot. Anything above this high is a pretty good spot. And just put a line in here. Right in there. We've got that high there. We've got that high on these bodies. So that's a good line for it to try and come down and test. And we got profit on the short. I'm going to go long right in there. And then when it drops down, I'll go long again, right in here. Okay, I'm going to just get one long started here. I'll get one more on the line if I can. All right, now we got a wick forming on the 1 minute chart, on the 1 minute bar right in here. We'll see if it comes back down to test or if we can grab some profit here. In this case, the target is below the high of that candle, so there's a good chance it can get hit before even making the 3-bar reversal, which is a good spot. It's kind of the advantage of being able to fade the market as it's dropping down, is you can position yourself for very small areas of consolidation. And that's why I like just placing my lines on the chart so that I'm not necessarily waiting for 3-bar reversals to trigger. I'm just trying to get in ahead of those. So there's that profit, grabbed it, and it hasn't even triggered the 3-bar reversal. We got the profit before the trigger, which is good. Now it can come back down if it wants, and we get to do it again. Or now we've got the trigger and we can go get the other profit. So either way is good. Okay, we have that bar officially creating that 3-bar reversal as it closed higher than this nadir candle. If it pops back down, it can grab another long, especially if it comes down to this level. All right, just grab that profit too. Another good little trade. I'm gonna short it right on that line. And I'm gonna take that profit immediately just because it dropped so quickly. So I got 50 cents. When I place a trade and it instantly turns into profit, I generally will just take whatever I get because it's generally not gonna go the whole 2 pips. So that was super quick. But just occasionally, if it immediately goes into profit like that, I just take it. All right. Trying to press. If we get that pullback, then there's a good chance we could get a much bigger run as it breaks. So those are the scenarios I'm looking at. So let's see what we get. If it dips down quite a bit, I'll go for the longs. Yeah, man, the news did pretty good to push it up. Did you get any profit or break even on your trade? I don't know exactly where you got in. I imagine at some point you had some profit on the short. Okay, if it can push down, grab some more longs. It's just having a hard time. It's just pressing and leaning into the upside. All right, it is trying to break up now, and it didn't really have a wind up yet. See, that's the thing. I want to see this market pull back and wind up before it breaks, but it's not doing that right now. So if it does just shoot up, I'm more likely to short it. Kind of would like to just get one more decent trade set up in if we can find it. But I will have to go shortly. Got some more things to tend to today, so let's just see how these next few minutes go. It's trying to push up. Pull that 5-minute chart. Yeah, it's just trying to break right through. See, that's what I don't like for the longs, is that I want to see it wind up before it goes for the break out to the long side. So I'm just a little bit more inclined, if it's not going to wind up, that I'm more inclined to short it back to test the highs. And you can see there's a lot of action in here trying to hold it down. I'm going to just go along with that. There's so much bullish pressure that even if it drops down, I can, we'll just work our way out of it if it drops down a bunch. Like, I kind of want it to wind up and head down here before we continue up. So at this point, I'm happy if it just goes against us to the long side. Something like this, have a down leg into here. And then that gives it a good shot to break up and make a new, much bigger leg on the daily chart. Maybe hit an ADR, an average daily range. Okay, just took profit on that upper trade. All right, it is pushing higher. Use that 5-minute chart, and we've got that high right over here, and I think I'm going to short it as it gets there. If we can press up, I'm going to just start shorting that leg, because also as we over the next 30 minutes, we often find a reversal at that next hour. So okay, right in here, I'm going to short. I'm going to zoom in so we can see what's going on right in there, and expect it to run up further. And I'm just going to clean up these charts again. You get the idea of what I'm thinking the market can and might do. So I'm just going to clean it up just because I don't like looking through all the lines. Just clean that up. And let's see what's going on. I'm going to put, I just want to keep that one line on. I want to keep the 1.192. That one. Okay, there's the profit on that short. I'm going to go long. And that target comes in before that 3-bar reversal pivot, so that's a good spot for the long. Okay, and as it pulls back, buy into that around that line. I'm going to buy a couple on that line. And then if it comes in deeper, I'm going to buy a lot more heavily in that line. This is a good spot for a pop up. There's one profit. And you can see this tiny little spot on that candle creating that resistance. So we're going to go in again, right? Oh, I didn't get a great fill, but I got a second trade in. If it pops down again, we'll buy some more. And we should still get a pop back up to test this high. At some point soon, we should probably try that high. And my target is right before that. I'm going to just make it extra easy by just shimmying that down just a tiny bit. And as that pushes down, buy it again. And now we've got the target below that candle, which is good. Okay, as that pushes down, I'm going to get into a much heavier trade in here. Probably get into 4 or 6 trades. I'm actually going to fade it right now, slowly. 1. I want those targets to come in below this pivot point so the profits get out before bumping into overhead resistance. Another little bit little push lower and I can get into a little bit more of a, okay, there's one. Now we're starting to get into the good zone where those targets can get hit before the overhead resistance right here on the 1 minute chart. Okay, taking profit now. You can see that resistance playing a part right now. And we took profit on that one. And if we can get a close back above that candle, we would see an engulfing candle and a turn. So not a close above, but we've got even candles. So we've got just even bars. We've got a good chance that we'll pop and break those highs to become a 3-bar reversal on the 1 minute chart. See if we get that break. There we go. It's a little bit of profit. Okay, if it pops down, I'm just going to have my finger on the trigger for the buys. Okay, just a really small candle leaning into the tops. Now is a good chance for it to break to the upside if it wants to, or we see a pop back down to these lows. Okay, there's some profit as we break up. Strong push on the 1 minute bar. If it pulls back, I'm going to add a buy into that. Okay, really strong close on the 1 minute bar. And as that pulls back, I'm going to buy it. One more time on those pushes down. And let's see if we can get a follow through after that bar. Okay, a little wick to the downside and closing above the break. It's a pretty good reason to have another bar to follow through to the upside. If it comes right back up to these highs, I'm just gonna get out of one of those trades. I don't want to be too heavy up here. I went in a little bit heavier because of the setup right in there, and it just didn't follow through yet. So I'm now gonna have to work my way out of those. So I went in a little bit heavier because it was a good setup. That's like an A plus setup. As it closed, it broke out of that 3-bar reversal and it held strong. And so I went in a little bit heavier because for me that was an A plus setup. And then there the A plus setup just fell apart. So they just don't all work. So now I gotta fix those upper trades that just didn't work. And I just grab a couple longs down here. And then if I can get some profits, I'll chip away at those upper trades for losses. All right, if it comes back down to that line, I'm going to get into 3 or 4 trades. So that's a good spot, kind of with this upward trend. That's a good spot for a bounce. Anywhere in here really is a good spot for a bounce. I'm going to just slowly fade into the push down with some buys. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're welcome, Vin. Look at the 1 hour in the 4-hour resistance area. News in about 15 minutes. Did I miss some news? I didn't think there was more coming up. Oh, well, like a yellow folder, business inventories. Yeah, that could be something. I don't look at the yellow folders that much. I don't give them much weight, but they absolutely can turn into movers if you get some discrepancies on the forecast. I'd like to make this trade setup the final one if I can. So I was really hoping that that was going to be the last trade setup right in there. And now it is completely running away from me. Look at that 4-hour. Yeah, it just totally rejected that break. And it is still doing it. Man. Just totally rejecting it. All right. Well, I got some. Okay, taking a little bit of profit from as we make that turn. I'm going to take one loss off there, get rid of that one up top. And then as it pulls back, I'll buy back in. Okay, strong turn on the 1 minute chart. Really strong 1 minute bar. I'm going to stretch this trade out just a tiny bit. Because if it breaks the high, it should easily tag that target now. It's below that point over there, just below that point there. Just super slight adjustments. These tiny little adjustments are not greed. They're just probabilities. Like sometimes I bring them in a little bit closer to reduce the profit size. Sometimes I just stretch them out a little bit more. And that's just the micro adjustments as to the current position that we're in. So sometimes I shrink the profit. Sometimes I expand the profit just a little. Just reading the current support and resistance. Okay, just took that little profit. That was a good little adjustment. Close, pretty strong close to the upside. Now, I've got to consider that this trend line might be a reason to become resistance overhead with this line here, right there. So that could be a bit of a problem to get back up. I'm going to just buy this dip, see if I can get some more targets before that spot. See if I can get them right before that spot there. So I'm just buy again because I need to get rid of those trades up there still, and I need to gather some profits to get rid of those. I'm going to buy here. And then if I can grab some more profits, I'll get rid of another one of those trades for a loss. All right, just taking some profit there. So I'm going to take another loss off of that top side. So I'll go look at the history. Took $1, $2, $3 more dollars for a $3 win and then a $4 loss. So almost completely paid for it, but not quite. But either way, I need to get rid of those losses because those targets are too far away. And now if it pushes back down, I can just reallocate more trades. And if it goes up, that's great, even better. Okay, I'm gonna buy the dip. Seems like the volatility is picking up now, so there should be some good opportunities to chip away at those losses on the top side. As long as the market keeps moving up and down, just take profits and then take some losses and take some profits and some losses. And that's good active risk management. Just gonna have a look at the 5-minute chart here for a sec. So we've got shaved bottoms on the 5-minute bars. Those are generally a good indication of a continuation to the upside. In good volatility, these are a good setup for a long. So I kind of like that for me right now and puts me in a decent spot for an up leg. And we're just trying to break these highs right here. If we can close above them, then we've got a turn. Okay, just a minute and change to the hour and possibly that yellow folder news. Okay, just took a little bit more profit. And we've got a nice strong close out of that break. So now is a good chance we'll see a couple bars of follow through as we make that turn. Unless that trend line comes in, that could be the reason that it pushes back down too. This trend line right here is still acting as some resistance. Okay, I'm gonna buy on the dip. Okay, we're at the hour. Gonna buy that dip. We got a little gap there, which usually fills back in. And I just want to see how that hour bar closed. So it's got a wick on the top, but it also closed above the previous hour high. So it's kind of closed right on those highs. It's really a 50-50 type area for that hour bar as to which way you want to go. So not super helpful for direction. There's the 15-minute chart. Got a wick on the bottom side of that, which might help this to come back up. But I think we're gonna, I don't know, but as long as we go up and down a little bit in here, it should be okay to make a few trades on those pushes down. Gonna buy. Didn't get a chance there. Try one right in here. And that gets the targets in before these highs, which is not so bad. That's pretty good. You gotta be careful not to oversize if this thing runs down. I'm getting a little bit heavy in this zone. Okay, and the market is coming back down. Got this level now. So as it dips, I'm going to try and grab a bounce off there, then look for a little profit to get rid of that bad trade up there and lighten up this position too, because this position is getting too heavy. Okay, as this market comes down onto that level, start to add another buy layer right here. Two, three, four, and then pause. Okay, so we got that leg down there. We got one. And then we got another leg, second leg down. It's freezing up on me. Guys, I'm sorry that I'm seeing that everything's starting to lag. All right, so we had an attempt to break down out of this consolidation, and we're just getting a whipsaw to the downside. So that opens up the door for a leg up. And although that trade didn't work, we will find a way to manage our way through. And as we take some profits, we'll take some. All right, if it pushes down, I'm gonna just try and grab a couple more trades to try and see if this is some consolidation. But I'm gonna have to be careful now to not overspend, because I'm gonna have to endure this leg. Okay, this 1.19 should be a good spot for a bounce, so I need to try and make some profit at this line and get rid of some of the position up here. I'll be in trouble if it just shoots right through. But chances are we should get a little bit of bouncing. All right, just taking a little bit of profit. One or two of those trades. If we can get this other little bit off for some profit. So now we've got one leg, two leg, three leg, and then we've got a smaller leg right in here. And we're running into this important level, the 1.19 level. So we'll see if we get a turn in here. I don't expect this to go nearly back up to the top, but if I can get it anywhere in here, I can just wobble out of the the losses. All right, there's a little bit more profit. So I'm going to take that bad loss off the top, get rid of that one. And then when it comes back down, I'll do it again. Okay, I'm going to add one here because we're sitting right on all these lows, right in there, and we might create another low right there. So I'm just going to try and just slowly add some more buys in here. Okay. I was thinking, I mean, I had planned to make that last little trade setup, and then I was going to get on to my other stuff. But I think I'm been able to manage the other stuff while we work through this. So I'll be able to hopefully just stick through this and let's work through to the end, because I really want to be able to show you guys how, like, when a failed trade setup comes in, that's still, you can still work your way through it with good risk management. So let's see if we can do that still. Just going to take some iterations back and forth, and we'll take some little profits, and then we'll take some losses. Hopefully we can just wobble out of those positions that are up there. Sorry, try and get rid of these positions that are up here now, because that's a heavy stack that just didn't get profit. That's a little too heavy. We should get an up leg in here somewhere. Okay, so what I'm seeing right now is that we had these lows come in here, and we had this drop down, and it came back up. So we might be finding that we're going to see a similar pattern from over here, over here. Wow, we got such a. I'm going to clear up all these lines again, the objects. It's just getting too messy again. But here we are on that hour chart. We tried to make a break to the downside. We got rejected. Then we tried to make a break to the upside, and that got rejected. So now here we are coming all the way back down to the lows of where we were at before. So kind of a pretty difficult session. I just got to be careful to not overspend because I don't want to have to hit a. Okay, I'm just going to add one buy as that 1 minute candle came in as a wick. I'm going to try and get a little bit of profit here so I can get rid of one of those losses. Man, that was not kind. 33 pip move to the downside. I'm going to just pull up the daily candle and see what that looks like. So, I mean, yesterday's candle still should be applying the pressure behind all this, I would think. So I feel pretty confident that we should have an up leg coming out of this, just for like a pretty difficult session for direction anyways, but if you're a consolidation trader, I think we're going to come out okay. So, but it's definitely a tricky, like really tricky. I mean, that's dirty for the people you're short. It tricked you, and then for the people that were long, it tricked them. So we got an outside range at the bottom, outside range on the top. And then what are we going to do now? All right, just taking a little bit of profit. That's what I need. Gonna just add into this right here in this pullback because it started to make the turn. So I'm gonna, this is essentially the trade down here that I was looking for right up here. As it made the turn at a good strong 1 minute bar, that's when I started to buy. So I'm gonna do that same type of thing right in here and see if we actually get a win this time. Okay, I'm gonna just add a little bit more. Now if we can get some profits on that little layer, then I can take off another loss. And we'll just chip away at that big stack up there. See if we can get rid of it. Looks like we've got that that turn starting to come in. So that trade also, like, it expired. It didn't follow through. So we had the 1 minute turn, then the pullback, and then we didn't get the follow through. So again, that was a failed, really good setup. Generally, those are good setup for me when you see those turns come into the market. Just like up here, we had that strong turn and then the pullback, and I lined up to get it, and it just didn't work there. And then the same thing right over here. It didn't work here either. So kind of another failed setup. But the good thing is with this way of trading, you don't have to nail everything. You can, as long as you're light enough, you can be flexible and find other ways to mitigate the risk. And so essentially I was wrong on this trade, but it's kind of okay if we're going to have the market still make its turn in a different way. So now we've got a strong 1 minute bar. Got the trading floor supervisors back. Big boy. You make this market go back up now. He says nope. Just need a decent leg. And we're just getting consolidation. So as it pushes lower, I'm going to have to try and buy again. Try and find some more little profits. Okay, well, I think we are seeing the slowing momentum to the downside now. That doesn't mean we're going to get an up leg. It could just break through straight down through here and then keep heading down. But my gut is telling, because we're getting this slowing momentum, that maybe we'll see an up leg come into the market. It's just such a difficult market to trade, because like even this down leg, we've broken these lows here. So we kind of got the trigger to go lower. So if it then headed back up, it would also be pretty confusing for people. So kind of a weird market today. Are you still in there trading, Larry? Okay, another push down to this low. I'll start to buy. I'm gonna get into a couple here, and a couple more on the line. Just getting into a couple in case this starts to become a higher low. Okay, there's one little profit. There we go. So that was a good little trade setup. And we've got a bigger leg coming into the market. Actually, that feels like news. Okay, I'm gonna take some losses here. Gonna buy this dip. And as soon as I grab some profit, I'm gonna take some losses again. Take another loss. Okay, if we can just get up to there, we'll be good. And just take a loss there, small loss. I'm gonna take another small loss. I don't want to be stuck with a big position up here. And on the dips, I'm gonna buy. Buy. And we're almost out of it. We just need another little push up, and then we'll be good. Okay, I'm gonna buy this dip. Okay, and if it pushes back up, I'm gonna take another loss. Okay, there we go. Just one more push, and then we'll be able to get out of these trades. Okay, just gonna buy this dip. I'm gonna do this one lightly now. Okay, there's a profit. Gonna take a loss. And there's the final profit. So we ended up profitable long before the market made it all the way back up, and it looks like it's going to make it back up there, but we don't know what it's going to do next. So that was a that was a funny session, but so let's go more review that. If you guys are, if anybody's still there, doing good overall, just being really careful. Good, nice, Larry. Okay, so um, I'm just gonna, I gotta pause just for a sec. I've got some background noise. Okay, that background noise is gone. So we traded really well in here, had lots of good little setups. And then what happened was, okay, I gotta go back over here. We had this turn and then a bullish candle with a bullish close. I was going for one last trade. That trade didn't end up working. And then this market faded all the way back off. And so we just carefully kept buying the dips and taking some profits. So took some profits in here and some losses off. Then in here, we got a few profits and took a loss. Then in here, we got some profits and took some losses. And then we were able to hang on for that bullish candle, some whatever news or somebody saying something. And that got us through to the finish and with some profits. So that's just a nice testament to being able to be flexible and hang on to like a position that's not going in your way, in your favor, but being able to manage your risk so that you can work your way through it. So that didn't end the way I wanted to, not nearly, but it ended up being a decent demonstration of good risk management. So we pulled out on top. I'm gonna just see what we made today. Okay, so we're at 10,449.41. And we started the session at 10,427.26. So we made $22 in today's session. And then we're going to divide that by the 10 427.26 times 100. And we got a 0.21% in the account today. 0.21.